We've been getting a question like 900 times a day, which is better, the Etha or the axe? So let's talk about it. I think the Etha's better. It's a little bit less expensive. It's got some good looking colors. It's backed by Planet Eclipse, which is huge. They really do great QC on their guns. I like the trigger. It's easy to adjust. The gun overall is easy to maintain. Nice, lightweight. It's got a good feel. It's just a fantastic gun for its price.
I think before we get too into it, we should talk to Trevor. I know he's going to be here soon, so let's go find him.
All right, word. I think Trevor's over here.
All right, let's begin. I think you do bring up a good point. That is a really obnoxious question, but I do think that the axe brings good competition to the Etha. I mean, it's at the same price point and it's more air efficient. There's more aftermarket parts. The detents are a ton better, and it has a smoother shot than the Etha, so it's just going to be more fun to play with.
Okay, it does have a smoother shot, but it's not a $70 smoother shot. That's the thing. The detents on the axe are better, but I don't really care because the eyes on the Etha are way better. The eyes on the axe are soldered to the board. They're a pain in the ass to get to. It's just stupid. But it's not just the Etha and the axe. People are asking about the crossover. They're asking about all sorts of guns in the price range. And there's Trevor. Hey, Trevor, isn't the crossover your gun? How do you feel about those ribbonized crossover hats?
It kind of sucks that it has ribbon eyes, but they're not anywhere near as inconvenient as they typically are. When you remove the grip, you don't have any chance of ruining.
Yeah, what's the best of a bad breed, I suppose?
Yeah, well, at least they're not soldered to the board.
It's funny.
The crossover has a selector switch, so you can save battery power. It's super efficient, super smooth, and fairly light for a tipman gun. As far as paintball guns go, it's a best choice.
No, I mean, that doesn't make it a better paintball gun. I mean, it looks awful, and it has A5 threads. Whose idea was that?
Yeah.
Playground! Woo! Ethan.
Ethan, we're talking about paintball?
It's not a playground. Whatever. Okay. Axe eyes suck. Where were we?
Well,
Alright, so the Etha is the best value because out of all three of the guns, it's the only one that comes with a case and legit tools. I think a tool tube with ball end hex keys is actually pretty sweet. I didn't go out and buy them, but it comes with the gun, and that's kind of a big deal.
yeah, I can't really argue that point. However, even though it comes with all that and the value, I feel like as a paintball gun, the Etha is probably the lowest on the scale out of all three markers.
So why?
Because it has terrible efficiency and terrible kick.
The efficiency thing is kind of a big deal, but it's not horribly inefficient. I mean, you get a little bit bigger tank, you use a 4500, it's pretty much going to solve the issue.
For the amount of money you're spending, I can't really argue with that. You know, you're getting efficiency that's worth $3.99. I mean, you are.
Well, okay, before we get too much further, we need our guns. Word. Alright.
Yeah.
Jack, give me my gun. Alright, so, best looking gun out of the three. That much is pretty clear. Some people like the axe, but whatever. This thing is just
the
better.
external or internal hosing, I think, is actually pretty fly.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a good point that both of you guys have. But the reason Eclipse does that, they're never going to have an internally plumbed marker, is because this is easier to work on. I can get to it very, very quickly and easily. Of course, not demonstrated very well there. How about this fitting? Ha! And if you guys have a leak from inside the grip frame, it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's my solenoid. Yeah, maybe it's my airline. Maybe it's one of the 16 O-rings. That's kind of a pain in the butt. This is easy to fix.
The strong thing about the axe is I can get to my internals much faster than you guys.
Okay, that's a good point.
The strong thing about the crossover is I can, oh wait, those are sharp and that hurts. I need a tool to get in.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, you need a tool to work on it.
The selector switch is cool. It's probably a lot easier to switch through modes with the crossover than it is on the axe and the Etha. The Etha is not bad, but you only have that one blinking light.
Dude,
as
that
opposed
LED you can see in bright daylight. That's pretty cool. The lights on this thing and the buttons on the crossover are pretty whack.
Yeah.
I mean, this has the best
This is
tactile
probably
feel.
the worst programming. You have the A and the B button, and this is the only one that lights up, and it's just it
Well, as
blinks
far as-
so slowly.
As far as programming goes, I'm really not so sure that is the worst. I mean, you got one button here as well, and it's really actually difficult to mess with.
I know. It feels like you're just pressing against a board. There's no tactile response.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain. At least you have the selector switch, so you
Exactly.
can go between two different ones. That's cool. But I think overall, the Etha is a winner for programming.
Yeah.
It just is. All right, let's cover the other things. The grips.
I feel like the Axe probably
Yeah.
has the most
the
solid
Axe.
grips.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are
They're a
definitely
little
more
plasticky.
durable. I think those are pretty hoop.
Yeah, I mean, they're not uncomfortable, but they're not those grips,
Yeah.
and even the Etha grips. I mean, crossover just kind of loses in the grip category.
For sure. ASA. We got on-off ASAs.
Mine's just a
That
flip,
is so much
easiest.
better than the relay. The relay just, it's finicky.
Yeah.
It's
The
true.
only problem I have with this though is if you do it, you degas it too quick, you can get a rollout. But if you gas it up too fastly, you can actually
Yeah, I
shoot.
did-
You can
Yeah.
bag your ball.
It's so
I
finicky.
did that all the time. This thing is actually just pretty smooth. Maybe, polymer, and that may be, somebody's gripe about this, but the glass reinforced nylon on this is super
Super
tough.
durable.
Yeah.
It's not going to break.
There's actually been more aluminum grips bent than there have been glass reinforced.
Yes.
And then
One's
the cool
breaking.
thing about the glass reinforced ones is if you're gonna land on something that's gonna, scratch up aluminum or ding it up, it's not going to. It's not gonna make it shiny or lose its ano. It's just black.
It's true. What about the feed neck? I mean, the only one that has an aluminum feed neck is the Axe.
Feet neck, I don't think it's very good. But the cool thing about the Axe is it's been out so long. There's a ton of aftermarket parts, so you can get a better one, but you're just spending more money on the already most expensive marker out of the three.
That's the thing. If that was like $400, that would be way better than the Etha. As it is now, I think the Etha is actually the clear winner between the two, simply because that's $70 more.
Yep, the barrel out of the box is better. It comes with tools. All the stuff that it includes, including the warranty. I mean, the Axe has the warranty from Key for 2 years. Oh, wait.
It's a limited lifetime warranty, actually. Their warranty is pretty baller, but, working with Eclipse is just a joy. Working with Tippmann, the guys at Tippmann just don't care if your stuff's under warranty or not. Whatever. How can we take care of you? That's something that we've noticed on all their guns. That's a 2-year warranty, but honestly, I think they just don't care. They never ask when you bought it. They never ask for a proof of receipt. So it's effectively,
So at this point, we've kind of decided the Etha is ahead of the Axe. All right?
Mhm.
So clear winner against the Axe.
based
Now,
on price, yeah.
With the crossover, since we are basing it on price, now as far as I'm concerned, I feel like this is the better paintball marker. But I think for your money, you're not going to find anything better than the Etha. Just everything that it comes with.
Well, if you got the crossover in the Etha box with all the tools and the spare parts,
Dude,
that would be awesome because it's super efficient, it's ugly as hell, whatever, and it's really smooth. But probably my biggest gripe is the stupid A5 threads. I mean, proper paintball guns are cocker threaded, and Smart Parts and GOG, you guys got it wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tippmann, I know why you had to do it,
They need to swallow their pride, though.
but come on, you just have to have a cocker threaded gun, and it sucks because a lot of people with higher end guns, I swap my barrels around on all my different
All the
guns.
time.
If you want to get a high end pump like a CCM, oh sweet, buy a different barrel. It's kind of lame, or get a barrel adapter, but those are stupid. Just don't do that. So that's really my biggest gripe.
One thing that I didn't cover, and I'm not really sure why, because it's probably the coolest thing about the crossover, is that if you switch it to mech mode, you don't use any batteries. So if you run out of batteries on the field, no issue. And it just really helps you save a bunch of battery power. Flipping in between the two is so fun.
Honestly, I don't really care about the battery savings because these are all pretty good on batteries. But I will say that in mechanical mode is really satisfying. Just click on over. We did a Band of Brothers a lot. That is super cool. It reminds me of the Emax, and it's just a cool feature. I think out of the three of these though, the Etha is probably the best value. You definitely get the most for your money, and it is the cheapest. But I kind of like the crossover as the clear winner. I just wish I could get with the case and it looked a little bit better. But from straight up performance for your money, I do think it's the best one. I really do.
I'm really not going to argue that point. I prefer the crossover.
If that thing was $400, it'd be a different story. It's just overpriced. It's a great gun. It's just, come on, man, $470 for that. Make it like $500 with the red line, or like $399 as it is. But really, there's more to it than this. People have been asking, what's better, the Etek4, the Etha, or the crossover, the Axe? People ask about the Reflex Rail. People even going down and looking at the Invert Mini and
Which
the
is really
PMR.
just the baby brother of the Axe. So if you're looking at the Mini, just go with the Axe. It's better than the Mini.
Absolutely. I think the Mini's a better value.
Yeah, I mean,
If that
that's
was
just a mini in a
$3.99
fat suit.
well,
But I mean, you can take the internals out. You can throw a red line on there. You can just go nuts with it. With the Mini, you are more limited.
it's better than the Mini, but it's not $150 better.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, taking the internals out on the Mini, if you think about it, it's like one of these. I mean, you have to remove one screw and it pops out.
That's true. It's not so bad. Now there's other guns people are asking about. There's the PMR, it's $250, and while it doesn't compete directly with any of these, it's also $250. It's kind of a big deal. The Invert Mini is a great value because it's $325, and it's not, $150 worse than the Axe. I think that again should be $400. So if you don't want to spend as much, look at PMR or the Invert Mini. But there's more. People have been asking about more. The Proto Reflex Rail. It's $500. Pretty good looking. Tons of different colors to choose from, but it's not my favorite.
I don't really have nice things to say about the marker, so I'm just going to leave it to fact. For the amount of money that you're spending, the efficiency, the ease of getting into it, I mean, it's just annoying. When you pull this out, it separates from the center here, so you still have to get in there and push out the actual bolt itself. Anytime you want to change the modes, you have to flip a dip switch, not once, but you have to flip it back, turn it off and all that.
The buttons are pretty whack. Changing modes is pretty lame.
Yeah.
It is a pretty comfortable gun. There's a lot of guys who like spoolies, and you're going to deal with the poor efficiency. It does have a legit barrel and a good clamping feed neck, I will say that. The airport ASA is actually pretty nice, but from an ease of maintenance, how many O-rings does this thing have?
So many. Not to mention the eye pipes, while a great idea, just gives you another consumable. How often do you have to replace eyes? Not often. Those eye pipes, they scratch fairly quickly.
That's a good point. But the real winner for $500 is the Etek4 LT. Brand new. This is the Earth. I think it's pretty sexy. Don't get an AM. It's just a waste of money. It's just an extra $100. If you really want to buy a gun and then immediately put in a new board, buy a better gun. Buy an Ego. If you want that full functionality, do that. We sell probably 20 to 1 LTs versus AMs. This is super tough, just like on the Etha, wherever the Etha went. It's not gonna break. It looks freaking fantastic, and it's $500. Way more efficient. Super easy to get into. Maintenance on these things is just killer. I really miss my Etek2.
In fact, wouldn't you almost call that an Ego just without an LCD screen with everything that it comes with? You have the SL3, you have the ZIC2. I mean,
Still the Technoid though.
Yeah, I mean, the 11, 11's pretty nice, right? And it's clearly better, but for the money.
It's the best of the choices we have up. I don't even know how many guns we have up here. It kicks the crap out of all of them.
It does. Well, so what else do we didn't cover? You may ask why we didn't cover DP guns. I don't want to sell a gun. You're going to call me and be like, hey, why is my gun leaking? I'm tired of answering that question. So I'm going to sell you something like this. You'll be like, hey, why is my gun awesome? Well, it's pretty awesome. So that's why we're not talking about DP guns, because by and large, they look fantastic and they leak. Sorry, DP, make a better gun. We have to pick a favorite, kind of regardless of price. So here we are, from your left to your right. The Reflex Rail, smooth shooting gun, but I just don't think it's as nice as any of the other ones. You may be a spoolie nerd, okay. It is backed by a great company, no doubt about that, but we've had issues with it in the past, so it's not our favorite. Axe, well, it's overpriced, but it's a pretty solid gun. Really good. I just don't think it's as nice as the Etha because you don't get as much stuff with it. Crossover shoots way smoother, kind of ugly, but that's fine. It's paintball, they're outside toys. Clear winner is the Etek4 LT. Don't spend the extra money and get the AM. If you just want to get rid of $100, I'm sure you got some buddies who will take your $100 because it's the same gun, performs the same, weighs the same, and who cares if you can't put an LCD board in it? It just doesn't matter.
Those are not the droids you're looking for.
We need one of those.